All right, in question 4, we can see an equation for fx. Over here, p and q are unknown. So it says, given that x minus 1 is a factor of fx, and that when fx is divided by x plus 1, the remainder is 8. Show that p equals minus 2 and find the value of q. We can do these two answers together. So first, as it says x minus 1 is a factor, from here we can find the value of x, which should be substituted in this equation. So x minus 1 equals 0, x equals 1. And when it says x plus 1, we should divide x plus 1 to get a remainder of 8. We can use the same technique over here. X plus 1 equals 0, x equals minus 1. So when we substitute x as 1 in this equation, we get a remainder as 0. As you can see in the mark scheme, when we substitute the value of x as 1, we get a remainder as 0. Same way, when we substitute the value of x, which is minus 1, in this equation, you can see we get the remainder as 8, as stated in the question. Now, when we arrange these two equations, we get equation something like this. So as we have two unknown over here, we have to use simultaneous equation. And finally, when we use a simultaneous equation, we get the answer as p to be minus 2 and q to be minus 5. Let's see what's the next question. It says solve the equation fx equals 0. That when the question says solve, we have to actually find the value of x. And when it says factorize or simplify, we do not need to find the value of x. So over here, as it's a cubic equation, we have to divide it with a factor to find a quadratic equation first. However, if it were an quadratic equation, we could have easily simplified. We could have find the value using the middle term technique. As it's a cubic equation, we will now use a factor. We already have a factor in the question given, that is my x minus 1. So we will use that factor to divide this cubic equation. We can use the long-term division technique over here. So x, what do we need to multiply with x to make it x cube? We have to multiply x squared. That's what we are going to write over here. So x squared times x is x cube, and x squared minus 1 is minus x squared. Now when we change the sign, we can get rid of this x cube. We will left with this 2, and the answer is minus x squared. And then we'll also use minus 5 from the question. Now again, we have to think the same way. What will we multiply with x to make it x squared, minus x squared? We have to multiply minus x. That's what we are also going to write in the answer. So minus x squared plus x. When we change the sign, we can get rid of this x squared. Now minus 5x and minus x will be minus 6x. We can also receive that value from the question. Now we have to put it minus 6 here, because minus 6 times x will become minus 6x, and then minus 6 times minus 1 will become plus 6. There's nothing as a remainder when we change the sign, so we can get rid of these two, both of these two. We can finally have one quadratic equation from here. We can write it, and we have to also make sure that we write the question over here as well. This is the question is also our factor. Now we have a quadratic equation. From a quadratic equation, you can either directly use a calculator and find the result. I mean, find the factors, or you can just use middle term from here. So if you use middle term over here, it will become x squared minus thrice x plus twice x minus 6 equals 0. And then when you subtract x from the first two, you get x minus 3, plus when we subtract 2 from here, you get x minus 3. So you can finally write x plus 2, and you can write x minus 3 as two factors over here. So we can write two factors, and make sure to also write the first factor which we have received from the question. Now when you finally write the factors like this and put x as put the factors equal 0. So x plus 2 equals 0, and then x minus 3 equals 0. When you finally write this factor and finally try to find the answer, you get x as 1, x as minus 2, and the value of x as 3. So that's how you get 1 mark for accuracy and 1 mark for method before that as well. And 1 mark for this line. And also you have to start the question by substituting the value of p and q. Thanks a lot for watching this video, everyone.